Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah!
And it's time for us to continue the trial of Matt on Guard.
Ooh.
Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified when more Ace Attorney arrives every day at 3 p.m. March 23rd, 2:35 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Oh boy.
So exciting!
Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready? Yes, Your Honor, probably.
Sure.
Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? I have to use the bathroom. It is nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth?
It looks like something unexpected just happened to him, Phoenix.
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impact's suicide note.
Huh?
Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery.
What?
Huh? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impacts herself. It is a fake.
Was he lying? You?
I have no idea.
Why would he lie in court?
Hold on, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you care to explain what is going on? If this is not written by Miss Impacts, then who wrote it? We need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Carita.
What?
Mr. Carita?
Well. It looks like Miss Impacts never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about On Guard.
However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. On Guard could not have known that, and so the fact remains unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it is real, he had plotted to possess it. I think.
Expose and possess it.
That does sound very plausible.
Indeed it.
A lot of P words. This theory that On Guard had no idea that the suicide note was fake, something seems a little wrong with it.
I don't know.
Let's go and present evidence.
Wait!
The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. On Guard not to have known it was fake.
Really?
I guess. I guess the suicide note? The bear? I don't know.
He knew it was fake?
Well, Miss Edgeworth, your response? I believe that even more important than finding out if this note is real or not is whether the attorney's badge pinned on that man's chest is real. That is the million-dollar question.
What?
Yes, I agree.
Me too, Phoenix.
Oh!
How could you?
I'm gonna take a wild guess that I say I messed up again. Actually, there is something I would like to ask. Mr. Edgeworth, you had stated something earlier to the effect of the defendant had spied on Mr. Carita's personal life. I believe this would mean that he would have known about the note as well. That's it. Yes! And so naturally, this means Mr. On Guard would have known that the note was a fake.
Yeah, that's what we were gonna say before, and we said something else because never mind.
See ya, Mr. Wright. What? Yes, Your Honor. I was the one who thought of the spying thing. Jumping in and stealing my thunder like that is simply... I can't even describe it. Oh. Sorry, Your Honor.
Oops.
I could even bragged about embarrassing Mr. Edgeworth to my grandchild had you not. For that, I assign you a penalty, Mr. Wright. What? If only I'd kept my mouth shut.
Oops.
So then, the defendant knew about the suicide note as being a fake? And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. On Guard's motive for murder was, it was suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. On Guard monitored Mr. Kurita 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in place where Mr. On Guard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Yeah!
Oh my gosh! Oh, this is like getting pretty ridiculous right now.
Order, Mr. Edgeworth. It looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. Ha ha ha! As I figured.
Oops.
As you figured. As I figured, it came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you are not making any sense. You need to go use the little boy's room. I'm sorry, Your Honor. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Agard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? This is not like him at all. Unusual? Well, what kind of sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is the one who perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelly the killer to commit murder? That's impossible! Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty! Yes, Mr. Edgeworth! Who is this witness? It is, Yes, go on, who is it? The man himself, Mr. Shelly the Killer. Oh, Mr. Shelly the Killer.
What?
Wait a second. What? Shelly the Killer?
Wait, we're gonna have an assassin in here?
You don't mean the killer?
They caught him?
I mean the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here to the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yeah? Is this alright with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor.
But where's Maya?
I wonder if it really is alright to do this. You know, ethics and all. Very well then, the prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, there's no other way left to us. Now then, witness, your name and, occupation, please. What? Very good, sir.
Wait, what?
My name is Shelly the Killer, and I am a professional assassin.
He's not actually...
I say! What is going on here? Your Honor? How can you remain so calm? What is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about.
Whoa.
Oh no, this will not do. I can't allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are indeed, Shelly the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm
so hungry! Maya!
A voice! Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. Are you satisfied that this man is indeed Shelly the Killer? It looks like we have to run into yet another unexpected turn of events.
Maya wants some burgers.
I know. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under the circumstances, so, Now then, witness... There's one thing I would like to confirm before we, speak of anything else. And that would be... At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida, is that correct? It is as you say. I indeed killed Mr. Kurita.
Oh my gosh.
Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream. Shelly the killer. What is going on? What's he gonna say?
Oh my gosh.
About my client. Oh my gosh.
This is freaky!
There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I'm here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. I don't think I can do 2 different British accents. 3! Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He's always stood by his own beliefs.
Just do like an old man British dude.
You mean that his trust between his client and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Knight, are you ready to cross-examine this witness? Yes, Your Honor.
There's no way to know what's coming next. So stay cool and collected, Phoenix.
This is crazy.
Alright, but will he even be... If he has to protect the anonymity of his client, why would he give the name of his client? That doesn't make any sense. I think he's gonna lie.
There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than trust between a client and himself.
I think he's gonna accuse the judge.
The trust between you and a client, you say? I provide my services in fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you're testifying in this manner? This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did, yes, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough, please, no more.
Oh my gosh.
Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway.
Whoa.
And that is the reason I'm here today on this witness stand.
You're kind of here, but actually...
Technically, you're a radio. Well, that seems a little strange to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. That role? Like a dinner roll? Quiet. This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. You gave the right to be so high and mighty! To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything.
Oh my god.
It was the other me.
That's terrible.
The judge had better watch himself. Oh my gosh.
I hope we catch this guy. What a jerk.
I know, right? It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give you the name of my client. Okay. That is the reason I'm here today. You know, alright, let's try this again. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust my clients are discreet about my identity. These are the roles and duties of an assassin. I'm sorry, but I was just wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules? A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role.
What?
Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Would have ever figured.
Yeah.
Now then, everyone, Do you think you can understand my logic? Nope. This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think. Really? In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust all over the place. I believe we are ready. Excellent. So hard.
Sorry, Luke. You don't want to be the killer.
Nope.
No.
And that is the reason I'm here today on the witness stand.
I kind of like your creepy, slow-talking killer voice.
Now, I believe it's about time I revealed the name of my client. Don't you agree?
Sure.
No. What is it now? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness! What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Juan Corrida?
Oh my gosh.
That person's name is...
I can't take it!
Yes?
What is it?
Out with it! Adrian Andrews.
What?
What? Witness!
No way! That's not his client!
That's not who you told me it was earlier! What? Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and that is Adrian Andrews.
Oh my gosh!
Nani?
Oops, he got tricked. I got tricked.
This can't be! On the phone earlier! What's going on here?
My guess is that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back, Phoenix.
Dang it!
But
stabbed Edgeworth in the back?
figuratively, though.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name. Probably Madame Guard, perhaps.
I knew it! This is outrageous! I was deceived!
Yep, you were.
This witness is telling a very serious lie. But you were the one who summoned the witness! You, Shelly the Killer! My testimony is the truth. The defendant, at the moment, is Matt on guard, am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal.
Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this, Phoenix.
I don't want to. He's guilty. He's a bad guy.
Well, Maya's in trouble, so...
The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided the suicide note with its forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt on guard is innocent.
Whoa! Oh my gosh.
Holy cow. It seems I have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Wow.
Whoa.
Bailiff, please bring in Miss Adrian Andrews immediately!
You were gonna make her have, like, a panic attack or something.
Have a stroke.
Yeah. What now? With the way this is going, and Guard will be found innocent, Phoenix. This may be our last chance to save Maya by stressing out Adrian Andrews.
but Edgeworth was right. The killer is lying. And Guard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can live with myself if I win this. Can I? Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would have absolved the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelly the Killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Oh, wait, sorry.
It wasn't me! Listen, everyone, please! That testimony just now, it was all one big lie!
Miss Andrews.
Suicide note may have been a forgery, but that man, Matt, he's the reason that Celeste died! And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie.
But Mr. the Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client.
But he's an evil person. No, that's not true. It's a lie.
Silence! Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and the button, donning the nickel samurai costume.
But that's...
I'm not finished! You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impax was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two Hahata. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead.
No! Mr. Wright!
Huh?
You know the truth! Tell them! Tell them the real story, Mr. Wright! Who the real killer is, tell them! Please, help me!
Dang it! Yeah, I know the truth. Mr. Knight!
Time to be a jerk.
Yes, Your Honor. I believe we have reached the end of this trial, and I am done with all this foolishness. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do?
I would just end it. Not guilty, I don't know.
Request the trial continue.
What? Okay. Phoenix.
I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept a not guilty.
You are a lawyer.
I know. But man on guard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than on guard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it's because of Edgeworth that now I know the real truth. He could have gotten on guard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? Never thought about it until now. I trust him.
Yes, you do, Phoenix.
Get out of my head! Mr. Knight, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we're allowed to further question Mr. the Killer. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Knight? Right. But, that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job is done. I'm not done yet. To see through the witness's lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. Very well. Interesting. There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur.
I hope so, because we're in some...
Very well, the trial will continue.
We're in a horrible mess.
Mr. Edgeworth, please establish your reconnection with the killer. Right away, Your Honor. Oh,
You're
my
making
gosh.
Ms. Andrews is gonna have to go through so much therapy.
Has a verdict been reached yet? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else would you need from me? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done? What shall we have him testify about now? Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court?
Oh, I mean, no one likes to go to the assassin either.
Ah,
I don't know.
as I've already stated many times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Carita was dead. Ooh. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of a knife and a button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. Oh. This is most unexpected turn of events for the fifth time now.
I feel like this is so tense.
However, this time everything has finally been revealed. Objection! Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? We still have the cross-examination to do. But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice. Ouch! Why? What is this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case? If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies in that beneficial testimony, I suppose? I don't understand what's going on anymore in this courtroom.
Why didn't anyone tell the judge
What makes two of us?
Why doesn't someone tell the judge Maya is captured?
Because the police can't get involved, or she's dead.
What?
Yep.
But the judge isn't the police?
As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client.
Hold it! I don't know. Sorry, I got a little intense.
One thing I simply can't overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime.
Hold it!
You want to hold it on that one?
On everything! Or will he destroy Maya if we do?
All right. We'll hold it up. Well, this was his first statement, so we'll hold it.
All right, let's do it.
What is it, Mr. Wright? If I press him the wrong way, it may raise suspicion on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness! About requesting a hit. Yes. How much is your fee? I see you're also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney.
Oh my gosh.
If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. No. I'm not thinking. Mr. Knight!
Oh my god!
Yes?
Oh my god!
You want to kill me? You want me dead? Don't ya? What? No! How could you think something like that? You're guilty, Mr. Phoenix Wright! You are hereby declared guilty!
Oh my gosh!
Witness, let's continue.
Oh my gosh.
Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not?
Wouldn't his fee be, like, really astronomical, though?
One thing I simply can't overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. I would like to think most people would be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill someone.
This is so dark! I cannot handle this anymore!
If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. Yeah, well, a change in occupation might be good for you.
Walmart greeter?
However, I will say this. Even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party.
They're the ones who had the idea.
That goes without saying, Mr. Killer. And their fate is to live with their knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders.
Yay!
However, my client this time thought that they could run away from their guilt. Ooh. My client did it to frame another for the crime. Are you talking about the button and the knife? Yes, and my business card. Oh, this card? So, that one has to waste their time, including the police. Always made it a point to make things as easy as possible. You try to make things easy? My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the, service. He's pretty devoted to his work. Disgusting.
I know.
But to disregard everything and go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here.
Well, you already know he's not being truthful.
While pretending to be the first person to discover the body at this scene. Hang on. So you're saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing? That is correct. Usually, most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too. Huh? No, I already told you. I have no intention of using your services ever.
Okay, let's find an alibi.
Mr. Knight, you and I are gonna have Queensberry rules after this trial.
Make sure you're in a room with a lot of people.
Why does he keep looking at me? Like I'm the one on trial here. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead.
Oh my gosh.
From the very beginning? That is correct. Before my client visited the room. All my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. Full transparency. Wonder if that's really true. That's odd. Huh? But even more appalling is the creation and planting of a knife and a button. So why do you think your client did that? What do you mean by why? Well, fiddling around at the scene of the crime is pretty risky, isn't it?
Yep.
And why would someone who has requested a murder go to the scene of the crime anyway? That is true. I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. Ungard. If that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it? Sadly, that is not possible, huh? My job is to kill, that is all, and to leave my business card, naturally. The business card is so my clients may escape blame to protect them is my duty.
Yeah, but someone always hires somebody, so obviously people are gonna try to...
Even if they say it's for revenge, setting someone else up to take the fall. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules.
Oh my gosh, I hope Gumshoe gets here quick. This is just ridiculous.
And that's all you have to testify? Yes. And I pray that I will never be called to the stand again. Again? Isn't your plan, to continue? I must, as I have yet to find a person to take my place and become the fourth successor.
How much does it pay?
Actually, how would you like a new life, Mr. Attorney? Excuse me? No, I'm fine, really. I love my job. Are you really now? What kind of man the judge thinks I am now?
Oh my gosh! What are you gonna do, Phoenix? Do you think it pays a lot? No?
Quiet! You're gonna implicate me! All I can do now is expose the lies, I guess.
This is getting so dark! That's true. However, you realize that will be very bad for our client to expose him, right?
I'm so confused. But the one thing I know for sure is I can't let this trial end yet.
This is stressful.
As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. No, there's something where he says he already knew that the person was dead.
Yeah, wait, I have a question. Why did Adrian Andrews go in there with the knife? If she didn't even know if Juan was dead.
I have no idea.
That was weird to me. Like, how did she know? How did she must have gone in there, seen him, then gone back out of the room, then grabbed the thing, then gone back in there?
Let's try the juice. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. The Killer. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corrida had been murdered. But how? How do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. A glass? Mr. The Killer's supposed client thought Mr. Corrida had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim.
Exactly.
But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan?
Calculated?
Quiet! That is not plausible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they never would have left their fingerprints behind.
That's right.
I see your point, Mr. Edgeworth. What is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the exact same thought just now.
Whoa.
Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? It wasn't a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail. It's not very important. Point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Kurita's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all.
Whoa.
How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Huh?
Phoenix. If the killer figures out that what we're up to, we're in real trouble.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry.
Why didn't you say objection before, Phoenix?
Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I'm positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. All right now, I just have to buy us more time.
But what about Maya? You're putting Maya's...
While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here, I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items.
I am getting so stressed out. I want the clown back.
The clown?
I want the clown testimony back. I don't like the assassin.
This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes.
Okay.
So you physically met your client, eh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Okay. Oh my gosh, we're gonna make this guy so mad at us.
Probably gonna kill Maya.
Why are we doing this?
This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services at the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar. Hang on. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was that brief pause? Press further.
Okay.
Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
I think so.
No.
What?
Why he meets his clients is not important. That wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you finally meet Adrian Andrews in person? I have already told you, Mr. Wright. I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him.
He knows! He doesn't know it's a girl!
That's when I thought I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Oh, yes it was.
You should ask the details of what she looks like, or...
If I heard what I just thought I heard now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance. Really? How? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought I could trust this person as a client. Him, huh?
Wow. I am so freaked out about, presenting evidence, though, because he's gonna,
Oh!
What are you doing?
This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction. I messed up. I hit the wrong button. How exactly is your evidence, you big boob? They aren't, are they? Not at all.
Oh my gosh, Lou.
Mr. Wright, please think the facts over before making accusations.
We are on such thin ice.
I was trying to get to Adrian's profile. I don't think that won me any points. Okay. Present. Profile. Boom! That's what I meant to do. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time? Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy? How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale. What? Shelly the Killer... You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Huh? Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up. About her.
Oh my gosh.
So what is the issue?
Oh my gosh.
What did you just say now? About her? If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person as you claim, one look would have told you that she's a very attractive woman.
Uh-oh, you made the phone explode.
Hold on. Mr. Knight, what is the meaning of this? The witness testified to the following. That he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request. But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person? Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews.
Whoa. Uh-oh.
Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? It's hard to do so many voices, guys and gals. My throat is going out. I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. A name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very manly name.
Androgynous name, yeah.
Yes, I see.
It can be for a girl or a guy.
Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one has stated Adrian's gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on?
He guessed.
Shelly the Killer! This court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up the client with another, yes. So does this mean that you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. Oh, I knew he's just gonna spit out more lies.
Wait, so he's still gonna say it was Adrian?
Very well, but this time please give us the truth and nothing but it.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So he's gonna say he met her somewhere else?
Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail.
What?
There have been many times when I took a job without having met my client.
You said you always meet them!
The request for murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 small other things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. I guess. By Joe. I don't. So you took this job through a sheer letter? He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he's definitely lying.
Yeah, it contradicts his earlier testimony.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us and Maya.
Oh boy. I know I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination again. Request taking number 2.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail.
You're right.
There have been many times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things.
Wait, you have a mailing address so people can find out where you live?
Wait, what?
That doesn't make any sense. Why would he have a mailing address if he doesn't want anyone to know where he lives?
2 or 3 other things? Yes. And what were those other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that?
Press him! him!
It'd really be bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and got mad. Let's press further.
Okay.
Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with your cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client?
Oh my gosh.
I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one... Wait a second. Uh-oh, this is looking really bad.
Oops, we did the wrong thing.
I shouldn't press with any luck, alright? I have to think. Is this worth pushing?
Let it go. I don't know. I don't know. I hate this stupid trial. I don't want to be here.
Okay. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine... The bear figure? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that bear. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Kurita's suitcase.
Oh.
And then what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away, of course. You gave it to your client? Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include that what you just stated in your testimony.
Maybe Matt forged the new...
As you wish.
Like, the new suicide note.
One of these things was to find the bear figure and to give it to Miss Adrian Andrews. Okay. Well...
That means what he meant was he gave the bear figure to Matt.
So, the bear figure. Here we go. Shelly to killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside of it. This item? I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase?
We're going to Disney World.
Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony.
And I was going to burn it for her sake.
If even for a single moment this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it.
Whoa.
Order! Order! So that's where you two were going. Oh, so by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Oh no!
But you just got in trouble with the assassin guy now.
Order!
Oh, I'm so stressed out!
Ugh. Mr. Phoenix Wright? Yes?
Objection! Objection!
I am sure I mentioned this beforehand. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of the agreement. No, that's not, that's enough. If that is your intention, then there's only one thing for me to do. Wait, please! Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to.
Oh my gosh.
No! Please! Not that! Wait! Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end, and I may stay my hand. Otherwise... Ah! What's in there, Mr. Knight? Are you alright? Mr. Edgeworth! Yes, Your Honor. I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there's indeed more to the testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should, Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... Oh, the prosecution, What has come over everyone? Even you are. The prosecution rests. What's going on around here? The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. What? Nani?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. the Killer's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelly the Killer's client is Adrian Andrews. Dang it! Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. If I end the trial here right now, then your client, Matt Ungard, would be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder. Miss Andrews
Oh my god.
will be charged? Oh.
What choice do you have?
The prosecution has no further questions, so we'll now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring in the defendant, Matt Ungard, to the stand.
The items from the killer's hideout didn't make it in time, Phoenix. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out.
I can't believe it.
The outcome now lies in your hands, Phoenix. Okay, this is not a good situation.
Dude, did the old guy finally decide? All right, so anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode.
Gosh!
Cliffhanger!
Dun dun dun!
We are now at the 50-minute mark, and I'm guessing there's a lot more to this trial yet. So, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We will see you at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with more of probably the longest case in Ace Attorney history. I have lost track of how many episodes the Farewell My Turnabout has been, but we hope you guys have had a lot of fun. Check out another video on something else later today at 6 or 7 p.m. And until we meet again, God bless and happy gaming. Thanks so much for watching.
See ya! Have a great day, guys!